Being an athlete is one of the best things we can become in this world. An athlete is a person who trains or skills in exercise, sports, or games requiring physical strength, agility, or stamina. One aspect of this definition was that athletes are trained and skills in exercise. Exercise is considered to be one of the most important things in modern time. Why is this the case? To balance out the rise of unhealthy foods and consumerism throughout the decades. As the year passes, there will be promotions of unhealthy food. People will be interested in these promotions of cheap, good-looking food. In conclusions, they will fall into the trap of buying them. This is why we should not be interested in these advertisements and promotions with something that will be terrible for our health. The thing is that human brain is clouded with desires and influence. Because of this, people sometimes cannot help themselves. This is one of the most important reasons why we should be an athlete. If people cannot help themselves from consumerism influence and desires, they need to focus on something else. Then their minds will not easily be brainwashed. This is about investments, habits, and lifestyle. Either we invest in buying that soda and french fries, or we invest into becoming a better athlete every single day. With this being said, this is about our purpose and values in the future. We strive to be a great or even the best athletes in a selected field. For us to do that, we need to maintain and build our bodies, not destroy them with the processed food. Changing bad habits in the people is difficult. The reason for this is that people are contemptuous of their current situations and are too comfortable. How do we solve this? First and foremost, we need to train our potential athletes at a very young age. Have the children be exposed to a variety of sports or sports that the parents are passionate about. I think this is important to point out. Children follow by the example and role model. That is why the parents should be athletes themselves or find a mentor to guide them into a chosen disciplines. The children will need guidance and knowledge. The passionate parents and the mentor will give the children guidance and knowledge from the decades of experience. This is because people make a lot of mistakes in the past, especially children. Their mentor need to show them their own mistakes in the past as a former competitor, as well as tips and tricks that will help them in the future. Some mistakes will be unavoidable. This matters because the inexperienced young children will be the one who make these mistakes the most. Now the mistakes will have been made and the young athletes will feel terrible about it. It's up to the mentor to support and cheer them up. Give them the motivations to continue training, especially when the athlete is really young. This will build tough skins for the future of stressful competitions ahead of them. Show them the values of the disciplines and the potentials for greatness. After the young age athletes are exposed to the disciplines or sports, the next age range is the competitive performer age range. The athletes can be in their mid-teens to late 20s depending on the sport. In sport like gymnastics, the athletes can be as young as 16 years old to be qualified for the Olympic. I think the main reason for this is that stiffness of the bodies increase the older we are. With this will cause us to lose our flexibilities. In conclusions, gymnastics athletes need those flexibilities feature. Of course, there are exceptions to the studies. Simone Biles is 27 years old in the 2024 Paris Olympic. She showed up and won 3 gold medals at that age. She is a powerhouse in women's gymnastics. With this being said, after the phase of getting exposed to the sports, we need to maintain or improve our skills level. Some people believe that this is due to genetics. However, genetics will only get you so far to becoming successful in that sport. Cristiano Ronaldo is good at soccer as LeBron James is good at basketball. They are built for that sport. I have learned that you don't pick the sport picks you. There are different body types for each sport. All of those body feature, advantage, and disadvantage will be used to determine your destined sports. What happens if this sport is not the one that you will decide that you will dedicate your life for, but rather another less advantaged sport based on your body feature? If it is really a true passion for the sport, you have to show commitment and the determinations. The reason for this is that you already is in a disadvantage if you want to compete in a very high level. You must first perform in a very high mastery of the skills that will overshadow your disadvantage. One example for this is basketball. On the highest levels of basketball, NBA, the average height of the basketball player is 6 feet and 6 inches. For the player who are way shorter but love the game, they need to be very good with their ball handling. They need to be more of a skillful player to balance out the adversity. The player will have to retire sometime in their life, one way or another. They cannot compete with the new generations as they age. So what is the next step? As I said before, the next step is to retire. For a professional athlete, the sport is their whole life. They cannot simply get rid of it. They rather want the legacy of the sport and their discipline to continue. They will become a coach and a mentor. This is a new task and a skill they have to experience. They have to be responsible for the students' life, from their mental to physical health. They want to keep the traditions and the cultures of the sport going. The reason why I mentioned this is that well-trained and competent athletes perform their skills can be really entertaining, thus will bring many audience and followers to the sport. This is how the sport gets monetized. Sport is for entertainment, so they need followers. A coach need to always remember that they were once an athlete themselves. They need to know how hard it is to be the top competitor and how stressful it is. They need to listen to the athletes' bodies, minds, and spirit, and then find solutions to help them become the best versions of themselves. With this being said, they need to be compassionate, patient, and understanding. What happens if a person go past the age of mid-teens to late 20s and still haven't found their discipline yet? First and foremost, these people will still need to be active or at least exercise regularly for a healthy lifestyle. Now, if these people find their disciplines in their 30s, it's still incredible that they are able to find something they are passionate about in such an age. Most people will just settle down to the mundane job and waste all of their time achieving nothing. For these individuals who found the discipline in their 30s, they are most likely very new to it. For all the disciplines in this world, there are 3 phases. The phases are beginner, intermediate, and advanced level. Everyone who starts something new will be a beginner. They will need to learn many things to improve themselves in the discipline. There's a saying, it is about the journey and not the destinations. This saying fit well with these practitioners because they are the one who should not focus on the destination. They are likely trying to escape life rather than build a new life.